Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about ZOM, Zomedica Pharmaceuticals Corporation. Before we move forward, please drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe and leave your notifications on. And if you at any point feel a little bit left out in terms of technical analysis point of view, you'll find in the description an educational series I made to explain how or what each of these technical indicators do mean. Make sure as well to watch my previous video if you would like to get to know more about this company. I'm going to go through technical analysis and then news and how I'll be playing this stock. Make sure as well to add any feedbacks you have in the comments below, as that's how I grow. Now, on the 3 months, 1 week, and I'm doing this one just only for the MACD, you get to see that it has been seeing a decline. And this week, where it was mostly indicated a reversal, I'm also doing it just for the unbalanced volume and the volume. And you get to see that the volume here has picked up just a little bit from last week, but from where it was on the 19th of August, there seems to be a lot less interest than what we had now. On the 1 month, 1 day, we get to see here, and I'm going to just quickly zoom in. You get to see an MACD that is kind of stagnant. It's not curving up at this point, so that's a little bit of a off zone. Usually tells you it's just trading sideways. Volume percent R goes in from oversold to neutral to oversold to neutral to oversold, so you expect just this very small bump that kind of gets it to a neutral and then falls back to oversold. Now on the ADX, it does indicate here that it's actually trading sideways, and that's kind of expected from the current movement. On moving averages, it's all bearish. I wish it was bullish at this point, but it's below the 200 SMA, below the 50 SMA. 30 SMA is above the 10 SMA, and the stock is below the trading action zone. Trading action zone is where reversals are likely between the red and the green line here, between the 30 SMA and the 10 SMA. Now, on the 1 hour perspective, I'm going to zoom in here as well just to help you out. On the MACD, you get to see it's kind of curving up towards Monday, so you might see a little bit of a small jump on Monday. Nothing really crazy we're talking about. We're literally talking about a difference of 0.001. That's where the level we're talking about for the stock. Moving averages are basically identical on the 1 hour perspective. All looks bearish. Was a little bit bullish yesterday, Thursday evening, but it still looks bearish to me. ADX is trading as well sideways. Volume percent R here seems to be oversold. On the momentum here, you get to see that the stock is as well a little bit shaky. It gains a little bit of momentum and then dips down. Yep, so we covered that. Now we're gonna go on towards the moving averages here, and we get to see, I'm gonna zoom in quickly. We get to see the stock is way below the moving average. So the moving average band is this one here. You get to see it's expected to trade between 13 cents and 15 cents, but that's not seen to be anytime soon. Moving on now towards Fibonacci Retracements. Try to basically identify where the significant supports and resistances are. Something I'm going to do here that I rarely ever do. I'm going to put the 261.8% on the 0.725. Resistances are basically at every cent up. Well, 13, 14, well actually right now it's 12 too. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And basically that is the main significance in terms of the main significant resistances. Now, what is the support at? This stock support is at technically right now 11 cents or 11.50. So it really is bottomed out, and you get to see here it did see multiple bottoms and then broke right through, which is a bearish sign. So usually multiple bottoms is where you actually see stock basically bounce off a few times from the exact same price, which is here 12 cents, and that kind of broke through today. It kind of broke through today. So what you get to see here is a downtrend, high lows and low lows, and then yeah, so 1 month, 1 day basically indicates the same thing. And on this one here, basically the last offering really killed it. That was a little bit of a poor management choice where they're doing a lot more offerings, and the last one just killed all the momentum. Now moving on towards the 10Q, and I'm gonna go through here quickly, and you get to see that the 10Q shows that they have the same amount of net loss, 0.02, 0.02 as well, negative, but that's not the case. Net loss and comprehensive loss is double, but the shares diluted is double. So they have almost 215 million shares compared to 108 million. Now, okay, Ed, cool. What is kind of the current risks at right now? Compliance. They have a little bit of time. Double check with this one here. There we go. Compliance for this company, it has received its notice on April 10th. That they're not complying with the section. I'm not gonna go through that for NYSE. Basically because their price for a low price per share. We intend to seek shareholder approval for a share consolidated or for common shares in order to regain compliance. If we fail to gain compliance, the company will be delisting. Well, you don't want a company to be delisted. That is definitely a bad way to go. So I expect a reverse split to come on. Now, I know that some people are going to be hating on right now in the comments saying, hey, you know, you're dumb. You're just going to get an extension. Sure, that is a possibility. But on what basis is this going to take an extension on? Keep in mind that their headquarters are in Canada. So their COVID operations they're basically still a pharmaceutical, right? Even though they're more for tend towards a little bit more towards the veterinaries, but they're still a pharmaceutical. I don't see when it's trading at around 12 cents. It's not like trading around 80 cents, so it will definitely seek a reverse split. Now, is there a way to reach above $1? Like, Ed, okay, what about their upcoming product? And what about their new letter, right? What about Terraforma? Well, Terraforma is expected to kind of launch sometime soon. The release of their platform there is going to be really strong. Yes, you're going to see a jump, but most likely what's going to happen is you're going to see a reverse split as well on there. Before then, I don't see this one to be more of a 1,000%er from just the release of Terraforma. But it could see perhaps up to 40 cents. That is expected. And that could be possible, even though that would be 400%. With the right volumes, we can see that. Now, another things here is the CEO did mention that they have enough cash in hand until basically the Terraforma release, and as well enough capital to get them to end of 2020 at least. And that is right here. There we go. As I write this letter, we have more than 50 million in cash and cash equivalent as a result of our capital raisings activities in 2020. Well, you better. I mean, you did a lot of offerings. Sorry about that. By taking advantage of favorable market conditions, we believe that we now have sufficient cash to take us well beyond the Terraforma commercialization and have reduced dramatically the financing risk that previously has been an issue for our company. This additional capital also puts Zomedica in a better position to weather any new adverse consequence of the pandemic. We intend to be good stewards of our capital and will continue to embrace learn and mean operating philosophy. Yeah, I think the only thing I learned from them is not to hold their stock for long. Sorry. I did buy the stock and I did see an offering while buying it, so you can get to see I'm a little bit too salty on this one for a little. In terms of insider buyings, you get to see on the 7th here, there has been on the 7th of, well, it's not August, it was actually just a month ago of July, they did purchase at 16 cents. Although that's not a significant exercise that we're talking about. Last time, like, I mean, a lot of them have sold around $2 or so, right? So they didn't add so much of their shares. I think shares changed. They just had 100% additional shares, so they didn't have shares before. I'd say that's a good sign. The letter is really bullish. That's a good sign. In terms of having enough capital to get them to 2020, amazing. Now, what is coming up? Well, there is currently the general meeting happening in. It's not long ahead. Double checking. Yeah, it's right here. The meeting will be held on September 25th, so it's less than a month at 8:30 a.m. Toronto time, which is Eastern Standard Time or New York time. And basically, it's gonna be. I'm imagining the reverse split is gonna be closer to there rather than where are you at right now? Okay, so you have a month, Ed. What's going on between here and then? All right, so this is kind of my opinion on how the stock will trade, and most likely will be moving so as well. You get to see that it's going to be trading sideways, right? It's going to be between, I'm going to say probably 11 cents or maybe even 10 cents on a bad day. So if the market gets hit with a red day, you can see 10 cents. And it probably will jump up between, I'll just like say 11 cents and 14 cents. And it's just going to ping pong back and forth until you get either a PR, that is not just a letter addressing, so something like the Terraforma updates, their pipeline updates, which I did mention before in my previous video about how they have upcoming pipelines and different projects they're working on, or some kind of breakthrough of partnership. But for the time being, here's some things that are buzzing in my head. Now, offering, I'm not worried about it, but I've been lied to before by companies saying they have enough cash and then they release an offering. So I would say offering is a low risk. I'm not going to say it's not a risk. I'm going to say it's a very low risk, just because I don't trust company board directors. Second, reverse split, that's a really high risk, but I don't expect it until mid-September, late September. I mean, probably going to be in a shareholder meeting. They're going to have a vote on it then rather than before then. So that's an expectation. What is my expectation is that it's going to probably rally towards mid-September. So at the current moment, there's no current catalyst that I can just think of or I can find that are clear as day. There is catalyst for the Terraforma, but a lot of people know that already, so it's kind of priced in. Once a clear catalyst starts showing up, this price will rally. So for me, I wouldn't touch it for the time being, unless I have some really strong guts. But I wouldn't touch it, and I would consider sell it for the time being, but that's just my opinion. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Subscribe and like, and you have a wonderful day.